Howdy folks, Tetsu here, down in lower tiers where the power's low, but the battles are fierce. And today I'll be continuing my self-proclaimed quest to archive all the battles during the first 7U tournament, which thereby I hope to bring light to the tier and possibly help it grow. So join me as we move on to match 5 of round 3. Our combatants this time will be Gangsta Spongebob versus Phoopes. Gangsta Spongebob won both their round 1 and 2 matches against SpectralThief and Nicole7735, going 2-3 to 2-0 respectively, while Phoopes blitzed past the first 2 rounds, going 2-0 against both PenglinHeHe and Ka1xo. Regardless, their skill should be witnessed here today by both myself and you the viewer. If you happen to enjoy the video, I humbly request you click that like button. Also subscribe and click that bell if you want to be notified for later uploads. Working together, we can bring more attention to this fascinating metagame. With all that said, let's begin. Alright, match 5, game 1. Let's play late metagame. Tentacle coming from Gangsta Spongebob with Tentacle coming from Phoopes as well. Blizzard does miss from Phoopes as Gangsta Spongebob is able to connect with a wrap. Over the course of 2 turns, Blizzard once again from Phoopes. It does miss again. That's a bit of bad luck. As Gangsta then PTs to Beedrill, while Phoopes goes for their shelter on the next turn, which does tank a Twin Needle and gets poisoned. Beedrill then hits with a Mega Drain as Shelter retaliates with a Surf. Gangsta Spongebob then switches their Tentacle, but Shelter goes boom, taking it out from full health. That is major. Ivysaur is then kept in to take a Fire Blast, trying to go for Sleep Powder. It does not succeed. Gets dealt a ton of damage. Rhyhorn tanks a Slash on the next turn. Fire Spin misses from Phoopes as Rhyhorn goes for a Body Slam instead of an Earthquake. Most likely Gangsta's predicting a switch. As Phoopes sends in their Tentacle, and Gangsta switched in their Charmeleon at the same time. Fire Spin misses. Surf takes Charmeleon down to 14%. Fire Spin PT to Beedrill, but Charmeleon is brought out from Phoopes as a counter. Rhyhorn's then sent out. Fire Blast misses upon entry, and Fire Spin connects. Charmeleon switched in. Fire Spin misses and is able to connect with a Slash as Phoopes takes down Gangsta Spongebob's Charmeleon. Meowth is now brought out. Ivysaur switched for Phoopes and a Slash, taking Ivysaur down to 57% as Ivysaur for Gangsta is sent out to get slept. Beedrill switched in but tanks a critical hit Body Slam, goes for a Hyper Beam, bringing Ivysaur down to 14%. Gangsta sends in their Meowth to take out Ivysaur, and Rhyhorn is being brought out. Bubble Beam crits! Rhyhorn is taken out! It's 3-3! Slash goes in for Tentacle, Surf hits, and it crits! Gangsta lost Meowth! Their biggest chance! Rhyhorn is taken down, and with Ivysaur being asleep, it is going to be taken out in all due course, because it cannot outspeed. With that, Phoopes wins the first match. On to game 2. Let's play late metagame. Tentacle coming from Gangsta as well as Phoopes once again. Wrap going in for Gangsta. Is this going to be a PT switch? Currently it's just building damage. Phoopes winds up actually being able to go for Blizzard, and it hits this time as Gangsta once again goes for the PT. Or goes for the wrap rather. So far, just building damage as Blizzard once again comes in, still no freeze, and critical hit wrap this time as Rhyhorn is switched in for Phoopes. It's definitely a risk, but Gangsta was actually switched in their Ivysaur as Phoopes does Tentacle as a prediction. They switch in their Beedrill as Charmeleon switched into a Twin Needle. Does it poison? It does not. Beedrill having to be pulled back out as Rhyhorn is switched in. Winds up getting hit with a fire spin with Tentacle being brought in. But Charmeleon actually gets switched in for Gangsta, who tanks a Surf, being brought to 12% and takes Phoopes' Tentacle out. Meowth coming in for Phoopes as Rhyhorn is switched in, tanks a Slash. It should be able to survive another Bubble Beam, but instead Gangsta is going for their Ivysaur, one of the best counters to Meowth in the game. Hitmonchan switched in for Phoopes, goes for a Body Slam, no paralysis, but Hitmonchan is put to sleep. Charmeleon coming in, Body Slam, no paralysis once again. Rhyhorn switched in as Fire Blast crits! Fire Blast crits, and another Fire Blast goes in, taking out Ivysaur. Tentacle is switched in to a slash and surfs in retaliation. Meowth being switched in, takes out as Tentacle is sacked to bring in Ivysaur safely. Ivysaur is slashed. Razor Leaf goes in and does a ton of damage, bringing Meowth to 33% HP. Ivysaur does go down as Gangsta goes for their Meowth. Slash hits the incoming Ivysaur and switch into Beedrill. Sleep Powder does miss, and Twin Needle is going to take out Ivysaur. Very well done. Meowth is brought in, goes for a slash, brings Beedrill to 5% as Hyper Beam takes out Meowth. Rhyhorn is the last one left. Mega Drain hits. It will be taken out, however, but it's 2-2. Hitmonchan is asleep. Rhyhorn's going to be taken out by a critical hit. Bubble Beam. Not entirely sure that crit mattered. Slash hits the Hitmonchan, but it is still asleep. And yeah, this is about the end of it. One more slash, and Hitmonchan goes down. Alright. Gangsta Spongebob takes game 2. On to game 3. Let's play lead meta game. Tentacle once again for both players. Blizzard comes in from Phoopes, and once again Gangsta goes for a wrap. Trying to build on a little bit of damage. Will we see a PT? Hydro Pump, though, is coming through. Blizzard, once again from Phoopes, trying to go for that freeze. Wrap misses from Gangsta, but Phoopes connects with her own. Continuing to build up a little bit of damage. Tentacle now to 56%. Beedrill switched in as Meowth comes in for Phoopes. Slash does a ton of damage. Twin Needle actually manages to not only hit, but poison once again. Rhyhorn brought in, tanks a slash. Will we see an Earthquake? Shelter coming in for Phoopes. It does take it fairly well, and Rhyhorn does need to get the heck out of dodge. Clamp hits as Beedrill is switched in. Ivysaur is brought in. Phoopes has their Meowth. Meowth goes for a slash. Razor Leaf? It does, and Meowth is taken out. Charmeleon now for Phoopes as Gangsta has to switch out their Ivysaur to Charmeleon. Fire Blast does connect as Rhyhorn is switched in to be hit by Fire Spin from Gangsta Spongebob. Tentacle is being switched in as well to take a little bit out of that damage as Phoopes is going back and forth trying to reduce the damage. Tentacle being switched in for Phoopes is both players now having to contend with each other's Gangsta Spongebob doing a little bit of wrap damage. Beedrill being sent in. Tentacle having to be switched out. Hyper Beam hits the shelter. Will it take it out? It does. It manages to take it out with Surf. Tentacle once again switched in. It goes for Surf and takes shelter out. Phoopes' Tentacle being brought in. It does connect a wrap. As Gangsta is now switching between Charmeleon and Tentacle in order to do a little bit of damage. Reduce damage. Charmeleon goes for a Fire Spin on the Rhyhorn that was switched in. Ivysaur is now in, with Phoopes having to switch their Tentacle, but Sleep Powder misses, and Blizzard is gonna take out Ivysaur. That crit did not matter. Charmeleon is now in, goes for a slash onto the incoming Rhyhorn. Fire Spin, doing a little bit of damage. Tentacle being switched in. Phoopes switches in their Tentacle, and it tanks a Surf, 32%. As Gangsta Spongebob goes for a wrap, trying to build on the damage. Charmeleon once again facing off Rhyhorn, but it misses Fire Spin this time and gets taken out. Excuse me. Tentacle then switched in, does a Blizzard on the incoming Tent, but no freeze. But it does manage to take it out on a follow-up Surf. Charmeleon is now in. Rhyhorn has to be brought in by Gangsta. Tanks a little bit of damage, not only from Slash, but from Fire Spin. Ivysaur being switched in by Phoopes. Meowth goes for a Body Slam, trying to get the para, but it gets put to sleep instead. No paralysis either. Razor Leaf misses. It's 95%, so It does connect the next time, though, and then connects, finishing it off. Tentacle is now in, goes for the wrap, possibly expecting Charmeleon to be switched in. Wrap misses on the Charmeleon switch, though, and it takes out Tentacool, with Rhyhorn being the only Mon in. Critical hit Fire Blast, bringing Rhyhorn down to 19%. It does not pick up the KO, and Fire Blast from Phoopes' Charmeleon takes it out, giving Phoopes a 2-1 victory. So, what did we learn? I'm admittedly confused by this body slam. While not a bad move, and that 30% chance to para is nothing to scoff at, seeing it used instead of Earthquake or Rock Slide, if Gangsta was worried about a Golbat switch in, was certainly a surprise. Since not only would it have done more damage, it could have, or at least Earthquake, could have potentially OHKO'd Phoopes' Charmeleon. Sure, it's only a 10.3% chance, but still a chance. Switching Shelter into Beedrill's Hyper Beam was a cool move, with the clan taking it at most 41.8% without a crit. It's not as good as tanking at the Rhyhorn, who takes at most 15.7%, but it is pretty good at following it up with a boom if needed on the recharge. With the match over, Phoopes will be continuing on in the WB, while Gangsta Spongebob with their first elimination will be heading down to the LB. We'll be catching up with them again later, I'm sure, and if you happen to enjoy the video, why not join in on the fun? I've got all the necessary links down in the description, from the Discord to the Resource Hub. I hope to see you there. Until next time, everybody, take care.